So at the moment when it's time to make the offer, it has to shift. See, the way that we are building, we use list builders, right? We're using our list builders. We're using our 21-day value base, and now we're entering them into our group. We're going live with great topics. Then on the inside, they've still been getting some live from you. But the difference is when we shift into making that offer, that's why we say, I want you to join me on a very special call or a workshop or a special training. We position it differently than we ever have before, than like our tips and our topics. They now need to see that you are their authority. What you'll notice from me in my lives, in the groups, I'm like, woo, hi guys, great to see you. When it's time to sell something, you better darn well know that I'm the expert. My energy will shift, I focus more, and now I have structure to what I'm saying. And I'm going to give you guys that more in-depth structure, because what I recognize is that structure is in your manual. It's written out when you need to, take the steps in the outline. But what may have happened is that we didn't condense the steps and really follow them step by step, and we may have forgotten a few of those steps. I'm going to just give you guys how. So what I did is I rewrote it for you guys. As you guys know, I use these cards for everything, every live, everything. And I do put my bullet points down so that I have them straight. Because in the offer moments, and this is for you as well, and even you still have a product, you're still marketing. You should be marketing, whether it's Juice Plus, Freedompreneur, whatever it might be. It's not just let me just connect and talk and get my guide. It's literally when we're making offers. Let's say it's in your group with your team, whatever you might be doing. You might be selling an event, you might be selling a program, product, whatever it is. We have to shift our energy and get very focused, and then we lay out the plan for them. And what happens, this is when people are like, oh, so they go from like, hey, I'm hanging out with you, I love this live, it's so fun to talk. And then they lean in and go, oh, she's doing something very different. Now for your style, Candace, you were doing it early. So you were kind of like, listen, friends, I've finally done this. I've put my energy into it, and I want your help. I want to connect with you. And that was a great method because you opened the doors early. You knew that it wasn't completely ready. So if we got super tight and serious with them, and then they got in, and the price, I think you and I talked about that initially, may have took them off because they weren't quite understanding what more they were getting in the program than what they were getting from the Daily Whispers. And I love that you did that poll with them. Are you loving this? Do you want more? Do you need more? That was a great way for you to identify what that audience is thinking and what they wanted more from. And so what we learn in that moment, if people didn't take us up on that offer for the pricing, or they may have just not known what it was going to be in it for them. And that's typically where we fail when we're making offers, or that we ask people to buy from us or join us. It's because they don't quite see the value now of moving forward in a bigger way. Does that make sense? And it's not that you haven't given value. I want to reiterate that. It's that they don't see now the value that's in it for them at that moment that they need to buy something. So we need to transition from my daily, this is what I do, and we're doing this. And, you guys will see me. I'm a wild and crazy woman when I'm doing my lives, and I'm very, very connected. I love each other because I do love everyone. I love everyone. But when it's time for them to freaking buy from me, they need to know how serious I will be and how I'm not going to, there's no more jokes here. Now I have something to teach you and something to offer you. And it doesn't have to be like my shift. It has to be your shift of now I am the person that is going to lead you to that promised land. The promise, the sealed with the kiss promise. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through this. You guys want me to go through the outline with you?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Because
did you post that somewhere?
It's in your manual, but what I did is I condensed it very tight for you guys so that you can have it printed and always next to you, either write it or have it printed.
Did you put it somewhere, the condensed version?
I have it right now for you guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wrote it out yesterday because, and this is what I recognize, is that it's in the book and everyone knows it, and I pointed you all in the right direction. And then I remember even telling you, Candace, just make sure you follow the steps, right? You've already written them down. Make sure you shorten them up. And you're like, I did, but I'm trying to do it from memory because you want to be in the moment, right? And that's when I realized yesterday, speaking with Lindsay, that having it so tightly condensed that you write everything out in your manual, in depth, so you get everything out that you may want to say, and then we tighten it up so you follow each step and you don't miss it. So let me open up my screen, and I'm going to share with you guys what that is. And you'll be able to follow it as a, can you guys see that? Okay.
Yes.
And you'll be able to follow, you'll be able to print it, you'll be able to follow it. And it's really something that keeps you very, very focused, because what I have noticed is that we all do fall into service delivery, what you're going to get from me, what I'm going to do, not what's it in it for them. We have a buyer's pattern. Psychology of buyers follows, what is it, they follow 6 emotional buying patterns. Now, online, we know it takes 7 to 9, sometimes 17. I'll give this link to you, Lynn. Sometimes 17 touches for people to buy. So this also makes us remember how good we're actually doing. Like, for instance, Candace, how long has your people been in your group? Do you have a slightly large group? They've been in there for quite some time, correct?
Yeah, I mean, some people have definitely been in there a long time. Some are just coming in. And some of the ones that have just come in, well, I can't say that. I was going to say some of them just come in are the ones that I'm concerned I gave too much value in my lives too. So that's another thing, because that was some of the feedback I got.
Yeah.
Yes,
I get enough.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's all how we learn. That really happens. I've done it thousands of times. So this is the first time you've done it. That's how you learn. That's how you figure things out. Let me just ask you again, because this will be helpful for everyone for these questions. Number one is, so yeah, they've been in there for a while. How many are active in that total? So don't look at the group, because sometimes we think there's 1,000 people, 1,000 buyers.
Yeah, no. If I'm looking at my average on viewing my video is the maximum is like 300 people out of the 800.
Okay.
Private.
And that's just views. That's not even interactors or engagers, correct?
Yeah, that's a few. So
Great.
It's interactive writing. I'm not even sure how to pinpoint.
Okay. See, and this is really important to know. And this is nothing, guys, that I can teach you in advance. It's got to be experiential. So this is what we do. We look at the total. We look at the amount of views. That's how many could potentially see it and how many times it's rolled and played for 3 seconds. That's how they count views, by the way, Facebook. 3-second views are counted that way. That's why we keep our message super tight and use a really tight structure. So we grab their attention right away. And then it's amount of engagement. So let's say you've got 900 or 800 and there might be only 20 that actually care, watch, and do anything. And if we have 20, we take out 5 to 8 that are probably our closest best friends, and we got about 6 or 7, right?
Yeah.
So then we got 6 or 7, you're like, holy shit, if I sold 4 people, I crushed it, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is what we have to really think about when it comes to giving ourselves space and knowing that I probably did a lot better than I thought. And I think that you're going to find this as well, Candace, and same thing with you. I know that exact same thing happened for Tammy, and I haven't gotten to reconnect with Jamie again, but I know that she had to re-engage as well, and she got more people coming. But what happened is I looked at the numbers and I went, actually, you guys have done really, really well. And because, and I'll give you this example. When I do my webinar, and you guys will know I'm in process again, when I do my webinars, this is how the numbers work. If I don't have 500 to 1,000 that have registered, 500 to 1,000, okay, that have registered. If I get 5 to 1,000, I will have maybe 200 to 300 present, okay, show up. 200 to 300 present. Half only stay around for the first 20 minutes. That's usually where the content jumps in. Then that means I only get 150 left. Out of those 150, I will get maybe 10, 30% buyer. Like, that's my strength. I'm a really strong closer on 30%. But look at the numbers, 150, 30%, that's only 45 people. And if I get 20, freaking so happy, I want to blow up. That's only 15%. So do you see how the numbers actually work when it comes to touching buyers when you're doing a cold like sale, right? So the numbers have to actually work in your favor. But the reason why we do the process this way for our first launches and for our first connectors, because we're creating very close friends in that group. So the fact that you gave a lot more content away for free, great. That means that they know you, they trust you. Now you're going to maintain that relationship with them. And then when now you've got 4 or 5, maybe 10 people that are like, wow, they go back in that group and say, this has been a great experience. Every week you're going to say, ladies, please, what we're learning this week, would you go back into our free group and share your experience? This is why you guys will notice I do that with you. We only talk business in those other groups, and we ask ourselves questions. But when we share, we go into that tribe group because that's where the general group is. So everything that I do, I want you to be able to mirror, and that will make a big difference. So just know that, we can't hit a home run every time. In fact, our home runs are usually about 10 to 20% of our audiences. But we do this process a bit different. So that's me on webinars. That's me like marketing, loading it up, right? So I can close. But when this process is much stronger because we're creating better relationships, lives create friendships, they create interaction. So different than a webinar, right? I'm totally snotty. The whole family's been sick, and now I got the snotty stuff. So if I sound like I'm in a fishbowl, it's because I feel like I am. Okay, so do you get you get how that works? That we actually, this process is so different than what I've even ever done before when it comes to my selling. And when I started to offer this way, it changed. And so we're increasing your guys's ratio for sales. And it's funny because a lot of you guys are just doing it for the first time. So you're like, oh, I should have done so much better. But we got to give yourself a break. We got to let you know that this is brand new. I've been selling like this for 13 years. And so I know my numbers, but now we're creating great relationships with these people that's going to allow them to, like, now when it's time, you're going to get better with making the call to action to buy. We just get better at that. So now I'm going to go back to that outline because I wanted just to connect with you guys. This is what I was going to tell you. And I know Inge is going to want to hear this. I should probably see where she's up to. There are 6 emotional buying levels, right? And when we're making our closes and we're making our offers, you just have to practice this. One is they buy based on greed, all right? And so when we're buying based on greed, let's see, get my full screen. Here we go. I'm just trying to get my screen so I can see it, you guys, better. Okay, so they're buying based on greed, which is if I make a decision right now, I'm going to be rewarded, right? So that's when they decide making decisions on buying on greed. Like, if I buy this now, something great's going to happen for me. Second emotion is they buy in fear. If I don't make a decision now, I'm in trouble, right? And so this is how we start to logically think through the selling process about the people that are watching us and that are ready to buy from us. And this is not something you guys can know from the start. I can't teach it from the start. It's about you learning these people and watching and engaging in what goes on. Third is altruism. If I make a decision now, I'm going to help other people, right? It's like the Kivas, the giving back style programs. When people make offers for charities, right? So I buy or I invest in something and make a decision now because I'm actually going to help people. Then the fourth is we buy based on envy. If I don't make a decision now, my competition is going to win. They're going to beat me, right? So that's when we're like selling advertising or selling other options or items. That's envy, right? So if I don't make this decision, someone else they're going to do it and I lose out. Fifth is pride. If I make a decision now, I'm going to look smart, right? Like pride. If I make this decision, I'm going to look great. Pride sometimes is a really good one in groups like yours, Candace. Sometimes, I'll explain what I mean. The sixth is shame. If I don't make a decision now, I'm actually going to look stupid. I'm not going to look like I know what I'm doing. So if we think about now, just knowing those 6 emotions of what our buyers, our teams, our followers, how they think, it's actually going to let us and allow you, when you're making your offer, to truly consider what that buying emotion might be in your groups. And the reason why we do our offers this way in these groups is because you're going to learn a lot more about these people. So this is like becoming more of you learning your audience, learning what they like, learning the things that you say that triggers them to reply, make an action, engage with you. Right? Groups are a great way to do that. So again, I'm going to go through these because I want you guys to think about it, and this is going to help you. And you may not know the answer right now, but now that you know this information, it's going to help you guys start looking at your groups differently. It's greed, fear, altruism, envy, pride, and shame. Now, for greed is not necessary. It sounds like a negative word. It's not a negative word. Greed means if I make it, I'm gonna win. We want most people to buy based on greed. So when we're making our offers, that's why we give bonuses away. We give first-time limiters away. Most of the selling offers that we're making are based on the idea of greed. Like, I'm gonna get more, and someone else is not gonna get it. Right? So that's the typical method of making, different types of offers. Now, when we start to see and watch what people do, like for instance, like the envy, when you're talking about people based on envy, if I make this decision now, I'm going to look smarter. I'm going to be healthier. Envy is another very big one for health and wellness. Lynn, like in Juice Plus, Freedom, it's another one. Like for Freedompreneur, we sell a lot based on envy, because they want to be like that one. I want freedom. I want this. And so if I don't have this, I'm going to be envious of someone else that's taking that decision moving forward. This happens a lot in our group. You'll see the group buying patterns change a lot inside of like Freedompreneur. People are watching you guys, and it becomes very envious. This is a lot of times why they choose in. This is why all of us really help each other out when it comes to, wow, look what just happened to me. And Inge's now helping my Pavantu learn how to cook, right? So my house is going to have great foods. So now people go, oh, I want that. I need that, right? So we're opening up the thought and idea that, well, you don't live in Bali, but you get to learn from her. So we create this, and as a really amazing, like we are all connected as wanting each other to grow. I do this for all of you and everyone in our tribe. When you're offering something, you're talking about something, you'll notice it, and you guys will get much better at helping each other. People love to make decisions based on envy because they want it too. And so, like, I'm getting ready to really do a huge envious offer, not even an offer, just to share. All of you guys have gorgeous assets. And I know that this process has been long for many of us, and frustrations have shown up. Emotions have shown up, disappointments in ourselves and what we thought we should have gotten or what we didn't get, elation of what we've completed and what we've done. But the fact is, if we look back and you guys snapshot from where you started to where you are, to what you've created, the process you've gone through, the assets you currently have that you could never imagine getting yourself done in 3 months. I've never gotten a website, a funnel, any of that stuff done in that short period of time. A branding video, writing your story, sharing it with people, photo shoots. Like, when we really look at what did we accomplish, it's overwhelming for me to see you guys. To watch you, Lynn, sharing videos now on your page and connecting with your audience and doing lives. You've never done that before, have you?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh. No, I can.
Right? The difference that you've started from where you started to where you are now.
Oh, definitely different. Yeah.
And how does that feel to know that you have actually created something that is your brand, your message is coming through, and you're actually helping create change in people's mindset of not being a no regrets mom?
Yeah, it's great when people interact with you and you see that you're helping them. It's a great good feeling.
More so of a good feeling, what is do you have a sense of accomplishment that you're so much farther than you were, Lynn, when you started? And I know that you feel like you've been,
Oh my gosh.
there's lots of stuff, but you're
I have a long way to go. Long way to go. I'm working on my emails.
We've never arrived. We'll never arrive.
Yeah. Yeah. Work is never done.
That's right. But that's the thing. You should see the lineup of funnels and stuff that I'm doing every day. But it's the same. We're still all the same. And it's frustrating as much as it gets. We have to go, wow, look what I've done. Look what I'm doing now. Because now what you've done and all of us have done is so different than anyone else has ever achieved that you know now. And they're looking at you, and this is why I'm going back to envy, because you're going to have a lot of people, if you actually take and leverage the assets, the list builder funnels, just the knowledge, right? The ebook, the branding video, the fact that you've written a story that is a conversion story, but it's still your life in words. You've written that. You've gotten that far. This is where envy is going to come in to play for everyone. And I say envy, I'm just talking about the 6 emotions of buyers. But guys, this is like, I know we get like, oh, damn it, this has been so hard. But we got to go, shit, it's been so hard. And I've gone through it. Because if we get out of and think that it's never going to be hard, we're joking ourselves, because this is life. You guys have just created something that now creates that envious emotion where you can actually show it and talk about it and say, look what I've done. Now you're going to start getting people to go, wow, I want what you have. I want the experiences you have. I want to know what you know. How in the heck can you share your story like this? See, this is when things change. This is when shift actually happens in not only you, right? Because we know fear barrier, boom, boom, we know all that. We talk about that a lot. But it's also, we're taking full responsibility. And now we've created something that's powerful, that we have now created that emotion of envy that people are going to go, damn it, I want that. And it's how now we follow up that makes this work. See, all the work in front, and I talked about this on my live yesterday, all the stuff in front, it's so easy. It's easy to be in creation mode. It is easy. You're creating, you're excited, you're happy, you don't have a lot of pressure. But what happens when things are done? Pressure mode moves in, and then we start blaming, we're pissed, it's harder, and we can't deal with it, and we're mad at ourselves and other people. But guess what happened? When the growth happens and the success happens on this point, the front end is so easy. This is the hardest. But once you crack it, then now you guys know you can make offers. You've got awesome assets. We have to leverage them. I see this happen every single time I work with people. They go all the way through that amazing phase, which is creation. They get amazing assets. This even happened in our last class. Amazing assets, and they go, oh, I don't know what to do. This is so hard. I don't even know what to do. And they stop. They actually stop. Inge knows. We've got several people from the last class completely put the brakes on. They've got the most unbelievable assets they've ever seen in their life. Never had a website, never had a funnel. Funnels are freaking not easy to make. Like, they're not. They're not. And they take us a lot more time, energy, and effort to even give. We don't make very much on the Business in a Box, but you know what I do make? Fulfillment, to know that what you guys have is so big, right? And now this is the moment of moving forward. So I'm glad that Tammy's here, because now what we'll do is we'll go through this outline as well. But do you guys see where, and I'm only sharing this and reiterating it because we're all in the exact stages of grief and growth. Grief and growth have the exact same stages. That's it. They just do. It's like denial, right? I can't do it. I got it. I can do it. I can't do it. I hate you. Why'd you do this to me? You've done this to me. And it's like, I'm so pissed at you in grief. Business is the same way. We all go through it. But when we know we're going through it, you're like, yeah, I'm going through that. Awesome. And then you step out of grief and stop blaming yourself and others. And you go, oh my God, look what I've done. Wow. That's the moment that we make great offers. Our business booms because now we're in flow, which is knowing, growing, and thriving. And no longer is it anyone's fault or your fault, or it's just what you're doing now. And that's when people start seeing you as being the leader they want to buy from. This is the difference. It's the shift. Without you saying that I'm in the pissed off phase of growth, people know. They don't buy. They know you're scared. They know you're, pissy pants. You can put on a fake face. I can't put on a fake face. That's one thing about me. I can't pretend. When I'm like annoyed, upset, you know it. I'm like, look, this is how it is. But this is also reality. So let's now go through, because this is it's such a normal stage. I'm excited whenever you guys are pissed off at me. I'm like, hey, they're so pissed off. They're growing. They hate me. That's okay. I'm not your friend. Because I know that you will be my friend, because I love you with all my heart. And I know where you're at, and it sucks. But when you go, fuck, it sucks. It's my problem. I wanted to do this. Then I go, fuck yeah, high five. And then we all run to the end of the races together. You get it? Okay.
I totally get it, Rhonda, because I go through this all the time. It was the same when Monday I got back my ebook. Yeah, no. It was actually, I got my ebook and I'm like, the colors are not working. God damn it, And I'm like, I have to go through this pain. It's not Jess's fault. It's just this. I find this the hardest part, and so for me, it really helped to understand this grief, because now I never blame the other anymore. I know this is my emotion and I have to have this sucky day going through this process, but I'm much friendlier and understanding because I know it's my struggle and my pain and I have to go through it. And it's the same that now all the assets are being delivered and I'm like on this high, but I know
right now. I got goosebumps when you said that because I know.
Yeah. And then I know next week it's going to be shitty again because I have to write more scripts and I have to go another phase. But I get through it because I know after that something will be manifested again. So I think the awareness for yourself being in that place makes it easier to work with other people and also not start blaming, because you just know it's from your emotion and something good is going to come out of it.
Yeah. And we're all human. And this is the coolest part. I play that song often, I'm only human, because although I can put on my Wonder Woman, and I can deal with it. I can take it all. But you know what? I cry too. Because I'm like, damn it. They don't really know how much I care. Wow. What they've gone through. Like, I see it. Like, wow, I'm always there. If you guys notice, I've been told by my mentor to stay the hell out of our group. Stop responding instantly to people's questions because they don't quite necessarily understand or respect what you're doing, but I'll do it anyways. And so this is the coolest part, when we all get where we are and who we are, because now you're all deciding who you're going to be for the people that you care about the most, and that's your customers, it's your family and your clients. I mean, my family's first. But it allows you to start being a totally different person and respecting the humans behind the bench. Those humans like Jez and Val and Chris, the ones that give us every freaking minute of their life and their time to make our assets look awesome. We start to realize that and go, they're only human after all. And we all also have the same exact phases of grief and pain. You know how many times I've cried after responding to messages because I'm like, damn it, but they're going to get it. So what I'm going to do for you guys, this will be fun because this will help all of us, is we're going to plot out. I'm going to plot out for you the phases of grief equating to the phases of growth. And then so we can everyone, this is part of the class now, everyone can plot themselves where they are. And then you just point and you know where you are. And the whole phases are going to shift. But it's such a big deal, guys, now. And the reason why I'm going through this over again, because we're talking about our shift from friend, lives, to selling and authority. This is why I'm going through this, right? We get connected, and then it's time to now be the authority, be the one that they need to trust and listen to, and you're not their friend. You will be their friend, but you want them to buy from you. People, friends and family don't usually buy from us. They just don't. That's how it works. So when you are creating too much connections and too much friendships, and they don't see the shift when it's time to make the offer, they won't buy because they think you're going to keep giving it to them. Does that make sense? It's a big deal. All right. So let's go now through this. Okay. Tammy, you came in, and what I told everyone is I put together an outline for you all that's a very tight offer outline, like making your offer super simple so that you guys have it as right now you can either, write it on your card. So it's something you have to cover each of these 5 elements. If you don't hit them, you're missing it. And then now there's going to be an element of where your customer may not move forward in a timely fashion. Doesn't mean immediate. It means in a timely fashion. So this is what we do. We introduce ourselves and our story a bit more short and sweet. We have to remember, though, that this story is not about you. Okay, this is an error that we all make, and you can't change it until you just figure it out. It's the story's not about you. It's your story, but it's how and why you've created this program because of what you've gone through. Because now you're the expert in this niche or this area that you're offering to them. So it's like, my story is I didn't want to put Hanalei in daycare, and I've now decided to build a program so I can help more women do that. But I'm different because here's my Sealed with a Kiss promise, right? I will always be there for you. I will be there. I will answer the questions. I will be your coach and your best friend, and then I'll also be your worst enemy, right? So we know that means that there's someone always there for us at every level of grief. That's my Sealed with Kiss promise. I'm going to ensure you will create assets and you will launch a product. So our introduction phase needs to be strong, but not about us, about them, right? About them, about why you created this program. This is my introduction, what I've gone through, what was my pinnacle peak of why I created XYZ program, and then why I'm different. Because you have to differentiate yourself immediately from everyone else that could be doing what you're doing. Now, the second is, and this is where your energy will shift. Your energy is going to shift. Like, guys, and it's also why we go, there's a very special training. There's a very special workshop. You do not want to miss this. I'm going to be covering things I've never covered before. So they know it's not the same stuff that you always talk about. And so we give them basically, a bit of your story of why, though, you created the program, because you've gone through a problem that you've now solved, and now why you're different. Second is, now this is when we position the talk. This is when we have to position ourselves and what we're going to share with them and why they need to know this is different than our lives. Okay, so this is now when we're setting the stage of you expressing what you know. So today, this is what I'm going to teach you. And my lives, I talk about this, but I'm actually now going a lot deeper. There's so much more in depth when it comes to understanding the body constitution, of understanding what it takes to actually really get healthy. And I'm going to share with you as much as I can today. And then at the very end, I'm going to show you how we can work more deeply so I can really help you remove this pain, or help you, it's the greed, fear, altruism, envy, all of those emotions, how you can, actually hit that goal that you've got. Maybe it's weight gain. You have to hit on those pain points in the positioning of your talk. This is going to be for you, and you can say these almost nearly verbatim. This is going to be for you today, and those of you that are here today, that you name the objectives. This is for you if you've been having problems with your weight. You don't know how to communicate with your spouse. You don't know what foods to choose. You are not seeing your kids and you're regretting your kids, right? Stuff that really matters to them, whatever your audience is. And then you're going to name the objections that are stopping them from success and reconfirm that you can help. So you're going to name all those objections that they may have. So now let's see, Candace, I'm going to go through this quickly, and then you guys can ask me questions based on what the objections may be. See, this is why we have to learn, why we do our groups, because we're learning what they want. That's why we do our lives. So we're learning what they listen to. We know what they like. We know what the questions they ask, because then we know what the barriers are to their problem that you can solve. Okay? So that's our positioning. This is why it changes. When I start to offer and sell, you guys know I'm not bullshitting, right? No fun and loving. It's serious. Because when we position and change our talk, they go, they are serious. I do need to listen to her, right? The girl next door, maybe not. But I'll tell you what, the woman that's, experienced, what she's talking about, they're going to listen to. And they care about you guys. They've known you. So now we position it. Next is that content piece we actually do have to teach them something. If we don't talk about anything new, or if we talk about that first top surface, right, that's why we take the list, cut it off. Most of it's in the program, but we take out some of those deep pieces and bring them out to the surface because you've not talked about this before. That's the deep stuff. That's the stuff that you want them to buy, right? The top is the freebies. The deep stuff that we cut off, that's the stuff they pay for. So, and the content piece is, you're going to pick 1 to 3 from your program modules. It's like that, your whole branded system. Mine is Sexy Living Formula. It's, my formula. This is what I'm going to teach them. So you pick 3 deep stuff that they could not get in your lives. Then you actually teach them something that they can't apply without your help, right? So remember that when we discuss at the event that woman, how to put our content together, it's talk about stuff that they don't know, tap them in the head, hit them in the heart because you care, and then you get them in the gut, like, dang it, I need more of that. And then you hit them in the shoes and they come running after you, right? That's that simple outline. But this is now when we really put it deeply into play. And the deal is, guys, even if you're thinking now, damn it, I wish you would have told me this before, you wouldn't have gotten it. You got to get it once you're in creation mode, once you've already done it. This is stuff that you can't tell in advance. But now that you are experiencing it and the program stuff is done, creation mode is the hardest. You can't think about any of the selling stuff. You got to actually wait until you experience it. And typically you have to experience it once or twice to really get it. But this part here, the content piece now is you teach them something they can't do or learn without you. Then we share a case study if you have them, or share results. You'll notice when I do my webinar coming up, Tammy is going to be my case study. Hopefully Inge and also Candace can be part of that case study. But you're a case study because now what I do cannot be duplicated. But there's now a result from working together that we can create, that they can see the result. So if we can share, based on, using this methodology, walking through the process. Most people can't get a program or a brand completed because they just don't know where to start. There's too many things to think about. When they actually organize their thoughts in a step-by-step process, now you can create something. And Tammy created something in 21 days. Now, was it all me? 100% not. It's never going to be all you. But the proof is showing that by working together, you created a result with someone. And that's something that they want to hear. So you can utilize someone that you may have worked with before, or someone that you've experiencing that same type of work. And that's why at the event it said, go talk to each other and create a result for them with your product, with your work. So you have everyone. You have all of you ladies that you can become your testimonial right away. And then what you're going to share with them is you're going to address the objections they may have and reconfirm your sealed with a kiss promise. So you've taught them 1 or 2 hot areas, and you bring up things that they've never heard from you before. Then you share a case study. Like, for instance, my client, so-and-so, I started working with them for 5 weeks and they lost 10 pounds, or they gained more confidence, or they actually created an idea that they could leave their job and start working for free, or creating freedom, whatever that person is. And then we address all those objectives they may have. Now, I know a lot of you might thinking, I can't lose weight, in 21 days. I can't melt my muffin top in 21 days. I can't be a mom, have a balanced life, eat well, be healthy, and still make money. I can't do all that. And I get that. But let me just share with you now what the process that we work with on my methodology is. I can share with you that you will. The reason why is because I know Tammy's done it, Inge's done it, Candace has done it, Lynn's doing it, right? All of these people are doing it. And maybe freedom doesn't seem like it's available to you because you don't know how to do it. It's just because you don't have all the elements to make that happen for you. You don't know all the steps it takes. You're only watching the surface of other people creating products, programs, being healthier, losing weight. See, it's that accountability that you probably don't have. It's that day-to-day step. It's that, right? So we're creating the objectives. We're talking about the objectives in our content that they all probably have. And then you're saying, I got it. This is why when I share with you in the beginning, that's my promise to you, that I will ensure that you will do this, right? And so once we then address the objectives, now it's time to transition into you're making this offer now. And this is why I created this program, because so many people don't think they can do this, 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 and this, or they can achieve XYZ goal. Because I know it's hard to stay on track. I know it's difficult to get something done to fruition. I've started a million things and never finished it. And so I created this program specifically to help you become accountable so I can help you create success. And I'm excited to share with you what I created to ensure that success in XYZ. And so what I've done is I've actually put together a 4-week program, 6-month program, whatever that program is. And this is what we're going to do. This is what's in it. And we cover this. We hold each other accountable. We work together. We do weekly calls. You get accountability partner. I give you my downloads and shows you how to tap into your soul, how to, pick the right foods when you're at a restaurant, all those things that you're going to teach in your program. And I want to offer it to you. But today what I've done is, because you guys are here live, is I only have an opportunity for 10 people. I have an opportunity for 10 people. The pricing is typically $997. And because you guys are here live, I am doing a special offer. And I always go, I don't really need to sell you guys anything. This is the deal. I literally want to give away 10 of you at this price. And for those of you that register right away, you're also going to get this bonus. I'll call you. I'll do this, whatever I'll do with you. And then you just reconfirm what it is that sealed with a kiss promise that you have. Make the offer, open it up for questions, give them a link to join, and then you wait. You ask for questions, you reconfirm your sealed with a kiss promise. And you're like, and then what I will typically do is I'll just kind of, while they're humming and hawing and clicking on websites and they're looking at stuff, and I'll talk about the results people have had. So they're kind of thinking. And you give them a limiting time. Look, if the cart's going to close on Thursday, there's some of you guys are those type of eager ones that'll jump right in. Great. For those of you, the first 10, this is what you're going to get. For those of you that are like, I still kind of need, I'm not sure, I'm not ready to buy anything, totally get it. I think that you will find benefit here. In fact, if you wait and maybe ask a question in a group of other experiences, we'll get those questions answered for you. If you do, need any more questions answered for you, let's handle them now. Right. And in your workbook, I also did like when you're doing belly to belly selling, when you're on the phone with them, you say like, all right, what's stopping you right now? Let's handle that now. Right. And it allows people to really go, okay, this could be right for me. And you answer all their questions. And so when we do Q&A at the end, it's like, okay, share with me what problems or questions you may have. Okay, is that your only problem? All right, awesome. So it sounds like you've handled that. You're ready to rock and roll? Cool. Be one of the number 10, right? So you just kind of move them forward. And now the kicker is once we make that offer, it's really the follow-up each day, restating the sealed with the kiss promise, adjusting their objectives that they have. 70% of people are going to buy within the follow-up. It's not, we're done. It's not said and done. Sometimes it feels like it in the beginning, the first 5 or 10 offers you make, you're going to, I'm glad I'm done. You don't even want to talk to them again. Tammy, you went through it. You're like, I'm done. But you have to keep going back, right? You got to keep going back to them. And sometimes you're like, I don't want to do it. Right? How is that for you after you made that offer and you're like, go back in the group and do another live, talk to them again, get them excited again?
Yeah, you know what? It's funny. And now I don't even remember. All I can remember from that one launch was literally going live and then having it not go live. But then going back in and being more confident. And it's amazing because it's all what we put on ourselves, because I go live every day in my paid group. I do a weekly live chat with people who pay me, and I can be so real, so to the point, and literally help these people doing what it is that I do. Yeah. But put me in front of people who have never worked with me before, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, can I help this person? It's so weird.
Yeah, I know. And we put on so much, I can't do it. When you're like, it's so silly. You're like, here we are. I know I can. And then
I'm already doing it. It's so funny.
All of a sudden I'm doing it different. No. But the shift, and this is why, because the shift is we're asking for money. See, it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
A lot easier when we don't have to ask for the money. But this is why we do this process this way, guys, is that you're so comfortable with these people. They're not new strangers, right? They actually you've done this with them so many times. So it's at this point, the value offer time makes sense. It's just creating a bit more structure so that they go, ooh, they're serious right now, right? So the offer doesn't have to be hard because this is what you do. And you're so confident that you will help them create a result. You need to say, okay, now it's time. This is why I've done this. I've been working with you guys in the free group for a long time. You've all told me, I really want this. I want to be with my kid. I want to have more freedom. Now it's time to do that. And I'm actually here to hold you accountable. I want to help you get there. I know this because, for instance, I've been working with Inge and known her for over a year. And by the way, Blake and Dan said to me, wow, the fact that what happened with Inge since we met her the very first time is like blew them away when they went through your film. They're like, wow, what happens when somebody starts working and they follow? That was the message that I'll send it to you, what Blake sent to me. And because I started working with her and I know everything about food, right? I used to be a trainer, and I knew everything. That's all I was consumed with. And then when she started actually talking to me about changing my new habits, I didn't want to do it because it brought up old emotions for me about what food turned into be for me. And then I just don't have the time to do it. I didn't want to deal with it. Well, but now that I've been working with her, I'm just like people in my group. I watch what she does. I see it. And I'm like, darn it. All right, let's just do this. It's time. It's actually time. Teach my Pavantu how to make better food. Show me how to make better choices and make it easy for myself. Help me get this, right? It's the same thing. It's the same thing as in our groups. They got to hear from us. They got to trust us. They got to know now it's time. So the fact that people don't buy from me doesn't mean you failed. It just means it wasn't time, or you just didn't address those objectives and problems that they probably know they've got. And it just comes from getting better at it. That's it. It comes from getting better at it. And one thing that I realized when I started to make my offers and maybe people weren't joining and I was like upset with it, I looked at the numbers and said, actually, I've done okay. And then I just went harder with my follow-up, like a lot harder, like more follow-up. Hey guys, wow. We are going to close the doors. Man, I just thought of this. It made me think about that one person that transform because of this. And I know that they wanted to get this done. You just think about the people. And then you just talk to them and you get a little harder in your follow-up. It's not salesy follow-up. It's, look, Joe, I remember you and I talking. There was this one live I did and you said, dang it, I need your help. I'm giving you my help. My help is here. Right? And so it's never wrong to call people out on what they want, because that's what coaches do. That's why people pay for people's advice, because they know you've done something that they haven't done before. And this structure, I think, will help you guys. I actually asked Jez to shrink it for me. He's going to shrink it so that if you wanted to print it, you can get it printed or put on little paper, just cut it out. But that page is going to be really valuable for all of us to know all the time. I've got that one offer outline for me all the time. And then it'll allow you to really be able to follow it much better. Now, I also then put together the live structure outline as well that I'm going to give you guys, that I talked about the other day in my lives. And I realized that could probably be helpful for you guys, right? Is to get the setup. And we talked about this last week or 2 weeks ago. Like what is the setup, the payoff, and then, of course, the open loop. But then every time my outline for my live needs to be, the intro, ask to share, the content piece, the open loop, and the call to action. And I put that in a little outline for you guys to make sure that you're following it every time. And that way now you've got all these quick reference guides. All right, so does that, just going through that, we've been talking for an hour, but these were some really hot topics that I felt as if it's really important that we readdress. We realize where we are in our phases. We rethink and level ourselves to earth and realize that we're just human and so is everyone else. That we've got a mad amount of people that are here to support you and to help you and to trust in them, but to also love them because they do love and care. And to know that our phases of grief are totally acceptable and real. We're all going to go through them. And when we know what they are, it allows you to go, oh, yeah, that's where I am. Damn it. Sorry. Right? And when we can do that, it allows you to be more connected to the people that you're growing with. And then you're going to become such a more connected person in your mission. This is a mission, right? And if we have a mission, we don't just create it and end it. We create it and follow through bigger, harder, better. So it's just started. All right, so based on all of that, right, all that we just talked about, because I do want to give you some things that we're going to do with those films that you should be doing and can do, what those next strategies and steps should be and can be. But is there anything when it comes to the outline you find, is that going to be helpful for you guys to use it, to be able to apply it? And is there any questions from it?
Yeah, I think it's very helpful. Thank you. And I have one question, because in our program, we, like in model 3 or in model 5, depending on how many modules you have, we do an offer as well. Is that module set up in the same way as this one, or is it much softer to offer your next program?
When you're making the next offer.
Yeah, in your online program, you know that I have the 4-week the digital program, do it by yourself, and then I want to get them into a 3-month coaching program. Is that video set up the same way as what you just spoke about, or is it a bit softer?
What do you mean video?
Well, in the modules you have several videos, right? Your module videos.
I see.
And then, is that one also this structure, or is it a lighter version?
Okay, that's a good question. I would never, you want to give the opportunity that there's something more, although I wouldn't leave it up to chance that they watch that video and they take an action. Now, certainly, you're going to say, there is more opportunities to be able to work more closely to me. In the modules, my suggestion is always to either have a module that says, okay, you've achieved this point. Now I want you to either book a live call with me or register for a live group call, because you need to get back into their face, back serious again, and ground them, right? Because I've had to do this with all of you, all of our classes. It's like, okay, we've been working together, you're working together, all of a sudden now I become your friend. No, I'm your coach again. Got it? See how that works? And we get too friendly. Like, not saying to you guys, but like, here we are at the event, we're all friends, and all of a sudden now we're friends. And there's the lack of, oh shit, wait a minute, this person's done this a lot longer than me. I need to listen again. I need to go back and reassess why I'm doing this, right? And you recreate that authority stance that you are. They came to you for a reason, right? So now you got to get that serious backing up. That's why we change it. We go back to, look, hey, I'm here for you. I'm not your friend. I'm here to teach. That's why you hired me. Right? And so when you get that again for them, you got to go live, because you need to re-engage that. You need to re-grab them, because now it's upsell time. Upsell time is a lot more serious, because there's a lot more touch and connection involved. And they need to really realize that you're giving them your life for their life, and they're choosing you because you've done it. If they don't like it, they can leave. That's not your problem. But now you're here to say, let's move forward together strong. And your Seal to the Kiss promise is bigger. It's a lot more serious, because now you're inviting them to work with you deeper. Right? And so you bring them back. You either do a video that says, book a strategy session with me, so you can do, the offer twist. And you guys have offer twists call. I mean, you and I have worked on that, Inge. Okay, look, I'm going to talk to you about this. If I answer all your questions, are you ready to move forward with me so that we can really get down and dirty, right? That's the offer twist on the phone. Or we bring them to a group again. And we always bring them to the group 2 weeks before the course ends. If you got 4 weeks, week 3, the week before it ends has got to be where you make that offer, or they're gone, right? They're gone. Even in a 3-day event, you make the offer on the 2nd day, not the last day, or they're gone. A 5-day event, you make an offer on the 4th day, not the 5th day, because they're gone. Always, always, that's the rule. I'm making upsell offers. And we do it with them with the same structure. But again, it's now addressing what you know about them. Now you're way more educated. So this one is not the surface, it's deeper. It's like, okay, listen, Joe, Johnny, and Jeff, right? There's 3 people that came from the 20 guys, or maybe half of them are there. You address the ones that you feel are very ready to work with you, and you only talk about and with them. Because out of the 10, 2 or 3, may upsell. That's it. 1 to 2. So when we're re-engaging on upsell conversations, we do it to the people that we know have transformed the most and that are ready to move forward more. And the other ones can just watch. Is that making sense? And I will do this again with you guys when you come closer to more that tight upsell. I know, Tammy, when you did your upsell to get them to continue on, you did the same process. I mean, you went back, you brought them all to the group, right? Isn't that how you did it? You brought them brought them back in to keep them moving forward within either the 97 or the longer term?
I did a live on it was the last week, but it was like the midpoint of the last week, letting them know that there was something else. And I did get that, but I actually am really stuck on that too, because now my original offer is a 2-week jumpstart.
Right.
So I'm like, it's literally like I almost have to offer it right away. But you know how sometimes some people buy something and then they actually never even go into the membership site. Correct. So I'm trying to figure out too how to make that offer. And then as well, for people who don't want the higher offer, I do have the downsell, which is the virtual gym.
Right.
But now I have this higher offer that the people who actually are in my virtual gym paying me monthly, they've never seen the offer either.
Okay, that's when you got to bring them into a live call, even if it's the 2-week. You culminate them. You let them know, right? Both groups. So it's like, hey guys, this is where we get really good at now doing webinars. And this is where I'm excited to actually start re-engage. You can't touch on webinars in the beginning. You guys were like, freaking freak out.
Sure.
Right? So now it's time to go, okay, now we bring them in. It's like, I'm going to be doing a really, private training, and I'm going to address the deep stuff that a lot of you guys have been going through. I'm going to hit on this, this, and this, and this. And then you bring them all there, and then you reteach them in a deeper level, like what you really will do with them. Like, so for instance, for you, would that be like a real personal schedule, like a real personal food plan or meal plan or life plan? Like, what would that, right?
Yeah. So working with me in my one-on-one, it's fully customized to that person rather than just generic.
Right.
However, I will say that I do also offer a boatload in my virtual gym to try and serve every type of person in there. Yeah. But the one-on-one also includes personal calls with me.
Okay, better. So then what you'll do, you want to paint the picture of that one person that you've worked with. Say, so for instance, now you've gone through the virtual gym, and then we hit those objectives again. I know many of you might be like, oh, now I've either not stayed consistent, I've dropped off, or I've hit a plateau. And this is what I find is when we, those of you that have real strict goals that you want to hit, and you've got a deadline. Summer's coming up, so let's just get real, right? We all want to have bikini bodies. I'm eating and working my ass off before I go back to Vegas this summer, right? Because I'm like, dang it, I got to get myself, I'm ready. So I'm creating a goal. So you create a goal for them. And then this is what we'll do. For those of you who might have been getting stuck or you might hit a plateau, this is how we work on it, because plateaus happen because we're either not drinking enough water, we're not focusing on the right foods at the right time, and we haven't pushed ourselves beyond that normal plateau level of exercise, right? I mean, this is stuff that you would, that's what I'm not doing. So what we'll do together is now I'm going to actually check your levels. We're going to check your measurements every day, and then you're going to check in with me on the foods that you need to eat, right? So that in the afternoon, I've got flaxseed crackers to eat and tahini and sauerkraut, and Inge knows it, that I need to eat that, and I need a green juice at 4 so that I don't get hungry, right? And I don't lose my energy, and I don't go for a glass of wine at 5, so I'm like, fuck, the day's done, I'm exhausted. Instead, I go, no, I've got energy, I'm going to eat something, and then I'm going to do my exercise. See? There's a difference, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you do for them. You do that. And so it's just that, it's just bringing them in. Even if it's a 2-week, you still give them something live from you. Like, and then they feel that they have more. But again, it's that shift. You know, they go from, it's like we're no longer their friend. We're actually we are the person they paid. And people, when you pay people, they darn well better be serious. They better not be kitty catty. They better be like, no, do this. Because we only pay for coaches because we want to be told what to do that's right.
Mm-hmm.
As much as our egos want to get in front of us and say no, we do. That's why we do it. I am a very bold person. My trainer, I'm like, fuck you. You're pissing me off. You're hurting. He's like, oh yeah, do another one. Okay. Because that's why I hired him. I'm dying inside, but okay, I'll do it because that's why I hired you. Inge's like, look, let me teach her. I'm going to get you food. Don't worry. And I'm like, come on, where's my food? I wanted you to teach me. Do it. Wait, I got to teach them first. Here, eat this. But that's the deal. Like that's why we hire people. And that's why they trust in us. And that's why we get so point on why our work is so needed by them, for them, why they need our work. And you, Candace, they need your work more than they know right now because the whispers are soft. You're soft, not bad. You're amazingly soft. Now it's time to get soft, but yet listen. My life changed the moment that I realized I wasn't listening to the whispers. The whispers are not something that just comes to you naturally. You've got to get how to tap into you. You got to stop blocking, get the energy clear so you can listen to what's happening. It's getting poignant on what we know is so important to them. You guys are freaking experts in what you do. They need to feel it. And when they aren't taking or moving and taking action, you just say, look, I know what's going on with you. I know you're stressed. I know that you're frustrated. I know this is going on with you. But guess what? This is why we came together, to move through this point. And you got to get into their psyche of why they chose you. Like my trainer is a badass. And I think I'm a badass. I'm a wimp when he comes to the house. I'm a freaking wimp. Ask Inge, why'd you have to come when he was doing this to me? I was like a mess. I was sweating. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't even look at them. I'm like, damn it. Inge seen me my weak point. But you know what? I wasn't in my weak point because I had my coach with me. I was where I needed to be. You know what I mean? And that's like, it's so fulfilling when we get connected to why we all chose to do this and why we actually care about our brand so much. It's because we care about those moments that we are coaches. We are people that have a mission and a story and a guidance for someone's lives will change. And when you start saying things like, I'm 100% confident when we work together, you will create a result. You may not love that result, but you will create one. Start speaking with definitive languaging. Right? So when we make our offer and we say our seal to the kiss promise, it isn't a sweet seal to the kiss promise, really. It's sweet in our own way. But look, I know when you work with me, you will be more connected to your husband. Your whispers will help your heart soften up a bit and you'll actually love your husband. But maybe you're not. Like get into what's going on with these people. What are the whispers going to do for them? They might be taking advantage of what these whispers are. Spirituality is sometimes hokey pokey. Get it less hokey pokey and more real to their life, right? Is that making sense? Because I know it's, like Lynn, you've got no regrets mom stuff. You have the best audience ever. You make people cry. You make them listen. Your message is amazing. You care about your daughter. It's sticking to that. Like I will help you become a no regrets mom. I have been that person. It's hard for me to watch this film with my daughter that I created because I miss a part. I'm bringing it back. Get real to them. So I know those questions are great because they allow us to get deeper as to where we are in our level. Does that make it a bit more clear for you then, Tammy, in that moment and time that you take them from 2 weeks and the other group, bring them together and get serious, like more serious that they need you?
Yeah, I think that maybe I should even have that as like maybe a weekly call and like for people who want to learn more about, or you know what I mean, working more closely or whatever.
Well, that's really the best. Like for instance, all of the gurus, everyone I've ever followed, and everyone that's been successful, is we always do weekly until we master it, until we've gained up enough where we're doing it the best way. We know the offer, our languaging is right. You go weekly because you're keeping those people, you're getting better at your message every time. And then is when you've said that message so many times, and probably some of them have come back and forth to listen to it. Then you can start reducing the amount of times that you do it. So then they flock to your webinars. Like, I haven't done a webinar in ages because I haven't had to, because I do this exact same process you guys are doing. But I want to do one because everyone's wondering what the heck I've been doing. So my mission is to bring a flock. So we can do weekly. So we get touch, get our message better and keep those people gaining forward. And then then you now have enough people, Tammy, that are coming through that group. You have enough that you're able to sell on once a month, or you have enough people that are fulfilled in your program, then you can reduce the amount that you're doing.
Oh, like down to one a month or whatever. I see what you mean, rather than weekly. No, I think that would be good, and probably good practice for me. I just need to figure out what I would call my weekly thing, but I could have it where it's announced on my page, on my personal profile, in my free group, and then even in my paid group for people who want to step up.
Yeah.
I'll probably keep it something around what the 12-week program is called. I don't know.
Yeah, what do you call it? Because the new buzzword, of course, is master classes, workshops, online. Don't call it webinar. Don't call it, because those people don't like those names anymore.
It's called, the 12-week program is called A Stronger You. So maybe I'll call it a master class to becoming a stronger you.
There you go. Stronger You master class for digging deeply into how to become a stronger you, and then list what that is. And then this is the cool part, Tammy. That could be your open call that everyone gets to join you for.
Yeah, you know what? Even I'll tell you, I feel like I'm buried in so many my to-do list right now with just all of these parts that I'm trying to tie together, when I already have the downsell, that virtual gym is running and it's done. You don't even have to do anything for it. So I'm almost feel like even using my guide, a guide to a healthier, stronger, sexier you, and instead of trying to create this new opt-in and this new jump start and everything, is just going from the guide to that weekly call, where my ups, it's that 12-week, that higher ticket that I'm trying. And if they don't, I can downsell them to the 97.
Well, see, and this is the thing when it comes to doing stuff live, you don't have to, automation is amazing, and the front end really needs to be automated. But the most offers that we have, that's when we have to bring them live. So maybe that is your next play, is to do the lives in the beginning so your message gets tight, and that's when we re-automate the back end. I can't automate this in a box. I have to talk to people. I can't get them to buy that high of a ticket program. I can't.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I could see that. And I have one more question while I have my mic open. Where can I find some help on it? Sure, it's probably in the academy. I can openly honest, I haven't gone through, but creating a good email series to draw people from that opt-in of my guide, then to bringing them to that call, to registering for a call.
Yeah. We there's copywriting, email marketing. There's a training of exactly how to put them together. Are you asking for templates for the template sequencing, or just because there's three areas. One is that if you want to just learn more of the copywriting, magic of copywriting, and how to put them together in the languaging, that's in the academy under email marketing training. The second is I have a 8-sequence email sequence for the product launch guide. In the product launch guide, I have those exact 8 emails that you need to include.
That's probably it. I have no problem creating weekly content and broadcasts that could always close with register for the call, but I'm looking for something to automate, set up as an autoresponder from that opt-in to delivering the guide and bringing them to just that first initial series that they get before they go on to my list.
Yeah. Yeah, I have the exact steps that you need to add, look what the emails need to say, what they need to include.
That's what I'm looking for. Yeah.
That's the product launch guide. You know what I probably should do for you guys then? Because I know there's a lot of content everywhere, guys, and there's only so much you can take in and find. I'll break those out. I'm gonna break that out. So I'm making myself a list and a note to break that out. So we'll do the 8 email sequence, and so it's just specifically in one area. So the 8 email sequence steps, what to put in them. And then because I have a lot of the email sequencing that you guys can use. It's just hard to give people the email sequences. It doesn't always apply to their businesses. What happens is you try to copy them and they stop thinking about their business. And so that's why we stop giving here's all the emails to use, because they just think, oh, cool, I don't have to do anything with them. It's your business and only you guys know your audience. So that's why the editing of the emails, like in Freedompreneur, you still got to edit them so you read them, they feel like you. And yes. Right? And so we still give them, but they are yours. They have to be part of your soul because these are people you're connecting with. But then when it comes to your programs, I'll give you guys the email sequencing so that you can edit it.
So what I also did, Tammy, for the same reason, is I just searched somebody up who is doing similar work to us, and I took her guide, and now I'm receiving her 8 emails.
Smart.
You funnel hacked.
You totally hacked it. That's the best way. I do the same thing. You guys know that. I do the same thing. You have to be able to find out, because it gives you new ideas as well.
I've tried that, but the people usually deliver one email and then I don't hear from them for 2 weeks. And I'm like, no, I want to be better.
Or the person that knows how to follow up. Right.
Yeah.
And so, but really, again, even these emails, they don't have to be overwhelming. A lot of people write too much.
Okay.
Now, especially in email. So don't over focus on them, because what we're finding now in email is, as we know, there's much reduction in open rates. The bots are working the best now, and just the lives. So that's why we've shifted from over focus on email to focusing on our 21 days and our lives, because that's where our audience is. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we want those email sequences to work. We need them to work. And the 8 follow-up is pretty much the strongest and the best to follow with. And it's a standard, but I'll make sure you guys get those. Okay, so we've got, what I'm going to do for you guys, I'm going to get you the 8 email sequences. I'm going to put together the phases of grief along with the phases of growth, because they're the same. So we can all plot ourselves all the time now, hold ourselves accountable. The 6 levels of emotion, of buying power and emotion when we make offers. What are the emotions that we have to think about? And you guys will get better at it. Right now you're like, it's overwhelming. You just have to keep making offers. You're going to go, that person was buying on envy. They wanted to be like that person. They didn't want to be left out, right? You'll start recognizing it. But it's just right now it's awareness. I'll give you guys this outline link, and then I'm giving you also the live outline to follow. So you have your offer outline and your live outline to follow every single time with your 21 days when you're making offers such as that. Okay, so now moving forward is the videos. Wow. They're so good, you guys. I watch every one of them, because I do all the approvals and the edits and changes and all that. So I've been spending the last 4 days watching all your stuff and sending, what I think. And man, you guys just really nailed it. These are probably the best branding videos I've ever seen when it comes to your emotions really were connected. They're so good. Are you guys happy with them? I know it's late for you guys. Yeah, so happy.
For me, it's early.
You love
Go ahead, Candace.
No, sorry, I cried.
I know, I cried too. All of you guys are like, oh, babies, they did so good. Because it's when you get the branding video, that's when it makes it all worth it. You're like, oh, this pain. And you see your story in film. It's like, oh, I did that. And now it's yours forever. I
actually started writing a whole, but it didn't go through before this call started. I wrote a whole gratitude post on Facebook, thanking everybody up to so far for what they did. And I love it because I'm calm in this video, and I love it because that's kind of contrary to how I do my lives. And it's just what you said. There they see you how you would work with them, and then you need to be like calmer and listening. And I did not think about that, that was what immediately attracted me in the video. So I'm very happy with it.
Yeah, they did a great job. Really, really well done. And the guys are super happy with them too. And so it's, it's good. They go hard. They go like the editing is they really put a lot of thought into it. All right. So this is the deal though with those films is, first off, certainly there will be a blog post, of course, that, that's good to have as a blog post, but you guys will be able to add that film to your blog. Okay. So Val said he leaves next week, so he needs to know where you want it. So you have to upload it to YouTube, right? It has to download from Dropbox, and there's a little blue button that says download, hit it, and it drops. It'll be in your computer. When it's in your computer, we upload it directly to YouTube channel, so we get a link from YouTube. It has to be hosted somewhere. And you can either put it on your homepage or your About Me page.
Is that full video or just 15 seconds of it?
No, I would say do the full video, but you won't be on your hero section. You can use the hero section, but this is the thing. Dan and the guys are not editing 15-second heroes. It's just too much extra work for them to do it. It's really easy. If you want me to do a little iMovie, little video or instruction of how to edit those, it's super easy to do. I actually did the one for Freedompreneur. I just cut it, put all the coolest pieces together, and made it 15-second long. I mean, I did it myself. It's super simple. If you want to use a hero.
You know what I find difficult? I don't know how to take your voice out. Because I know how to do it, but then still it has these chunks of that you're also talking, and I don't know how to take that apart.
Well, you can't, you have to just detach the audio. It's really simple. Actually, we can do a training on it. You just right click, detach audio, delete the audio. And then you either add new music on or you don't have music because your voice speaks with the same music.
How much I leave mine long and then just add it to the front page?
I'm sorry?
I said, I must leave it long. I don't want to mess it up. I mean, if you start editing it, does it make a second one, obviously?
Oh yeah, you don't edit the one that you currently have. It's yours. You actually, we recreate a new file, and then you can cut it up and then you resave it. That's do your hero. Hero section is on your homepage. It's at the very, very top of your homepage. It's on Freedompreneur, how Freedompreneur has a movie. But most of us have just images because of that.
The About Me then, could it be at the top?
Yeah.
Instead of a picture? Because that's probably, or is it just, you mean intertwined into the script and then all of a sudden your video story's in there?
Yeah, exactly. Like, ours is, just the videos on the homepage with our story. And then it's also on our actual About Us page. So it's like embedded with, when they get to read your story, it's also there.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's you guys can, I can't tell you where to put it because really it's your About Me section anyways. It can just be the small video next to your About Me and then also on the About Me page, and he'll just embed it onto that page. So that's one. So it should be on your blogs. Two is, now that's something that you'll use as your sales page video. Right, your sales page video, use those there so that it really
good. So now I can upload that and take away that other awful sales page. Oh, good. I'm going to do that tonight then.
Yeah. Just all you do is upload it to YouTube, and then once it's uploaded, it says share. It gives you the share feature, and you either grab the link or you grab the embedded code. Everything in ClickFunnels just takes a link. Like it's super duper simple. Just asks for a link and you drop it onto that element and then it saves it. We've created training in ClickFunnels inside of the Sexy Brand Building program. I have a whole section on editing your ClickFunnels that I think everyone kind of forgot about. We forget to go back in I've done several trainings in there of exactly how to edit, how to change your headlines, how to save everything. That's really simple in like a 10-minute instructional video that shows you how to do that, how to add video. Because once we know how to do it, it's always ours. We can change stuff however we want it to be. It's very empowering to have it, to be able to do it on your own. So then you want to put it on your sales pages. And then most importantly, this now can become a video that you market with.
Now, when you say sales page, so you mean instead of doing an actual video sales letter about your program?
No, video sales, here, let me show you. Video sales letters are what you market with, right?
Yeah.
Right? So on your page, let's see, where we go. You guys, is my screen showing or no?
Yeah.
Okay. So, like for instance, okay, no, that's the other one. Let me think about what we want to do on, where's it at? I'm trying to find it. So it's one that you'll market with, and the other is your video sales letter that goes on your sales page. Let me just get my sales page on. Oops. Jesus.
So are you talking about that sales video on my membership site sales page?
Yeah, exactly. Before they're buying this one. So like right now I'm so excited. This one, right? Because it's more testimonial style, but you could use it right here, right? So this is where they get to see the program. So put it here, but then also put it, you can use this as a marketing video on Facebook. So like you want to, these are your best stuff. This is your best stuff. So you want to have it here as you talk about what your programs are. And then you also you can upload it to your page. I suggest that you utilize your story again and share that video, and then give them your list builder funnel or give them something that they can connect with you better with. Right? Because this is and you only have like one shot to show it the first time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to get the best response when you directly upload it to Facebook. And I would actually directly upload it to your personal page. Whenever you market, you can upload it to your marketing page at any time. And then, you can send traffic there. But I would use your story that you've already written before on that video, and then give them your link to your list builder so they can, I put everything all together inside of this guide on how you can be a no regrets mom, or how you can listen to Whispers of Your Soul. And then you'll be able to join me deeper inside of my groups, or, right, depending on how your funnel's set up. So I think that's going to be our best impact piece and do it between 7 and 9 o'clock at night tomorrow, Thursday, or do it Sunday. Okay? Because that's going to be our biggest impact. You'll use this video forever and everything that you ever do. Websites, it's you. It's your stuff. It won't change. So that's going to be our best. Now, if you are doing marketing with like Kim, and the YSV guys, then certainly let's get the impact first, and you want to give it time to get impact on your personal page. And then let's look at running traffic directly to that video and see if it either grabs audiences. So this is the difference I'm going to give you so you guys understand. You'll notice on Unstoppable Family, we have a lot of marketing ads, but now we're doing those Life of a Freedompreneur ads, or just Life of a Freedompreneur videos, because they're just impacting, they see our reality of who we are and what we do. I don't look to make money from those. I create audiences with those. We create connection with those. So those videos never have a link in them. They're just going, so people are like, wow, these people are great. I'd like to connect with them. So that when your ads run, your ad is warmer. So the strategy that, for instance, that we do on Unstoppable Family and Unstoppable Mama, I do my 21 days, do my lives like crazy. My lives like crazy keeps people coming to me. I get them, grab my guy, do this. I'm just keeping them kind of connected to me. That's the active stuff that we do. I will make my offers on my webinars, all right? But what I do after I do my lives, I always boost them so they're in front of more people. So I'm grabbing an audience right now, right? I'm keeping my content in front of more people. So when I place ads to actually buy something or to go to a webinar, they've seen so much great value from me, it makes sense to do it. So we're not just going, hey, join me now, buy now. We've given them a lot of value. So for instance, your strategy can be 21-day live, Pied Pipering them into a group. We've said this before, once our lives are strong, like I'm right now going back through my 21 days and finding the absolute best ones, and I'm putting them in my 21-day plan, the ones that are my best. And then we're boosting them, we're giving them traction, we're giving them traffic, so that now they're like, wow, she gives so much added value for free. I have calls to action in there of what to do, but there's not real selling in there at all, right? So now once my 21 days are being boosted, there's a lot of activity. So then when I do an ad, then it makes sense for them to take an action on that ad, like click a link, go over here. Does that make any sense? When we're doing value, that's why we do the 21 days, because there's so much value involved. And they just start liking you more. It helps them become more warm. So then when we boost that traffic, it just gets them in front of them, boosting to the current audience that we have. All it does is boost it for a day or two, gets them in front of your people more often. But when you're consistent, they're seeing it all the time. They're seeing more of it. So then when we place an actual ad, now they've seen a lot of value from you, that the ad actually is a natural progression for them to go, oh, okay, that offer makes sense. It's time for me to move with that more. They may have already gotten to a group. They may have already grabbed a guide. That's fine. But it's now gives them a reason. So that when you're making that offer, it makes sense. And right now, everyone is just in the method of bringing them into group, making the offer. But when we start making ads for webinars, like come meet me because I'm going to teach and sell, that's when this method really starts to matter more, because now we have more people, more traffic.
Could I use that branding video? I'd like to use it maybe as an ad to bring people to learn my story on your webinar.
I think, for sure. For sure. I will most likely use your video too. Most likely.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
So that we can really see how that worked. Because again, for me, it's showing assets, right? So I have to be able to show this is the branding, this is what we do, right? We create all of this. But yeah, for sure. Those videos are that strong that they should and can be used as either audience, giving your audience a lot more visibility of what your story is about, or an ad. We just have to see how they convert. Everything's testing. They're a little slower, so they're more connected, but they might be, right, a good credibility before an ad.
And maybe tied with a story post with a link to to the webinar.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, it says, if you're wondering how I got these amazing, this asset or this video and done this, it's, I've been in this program that I want to show you more about it, and I'll be a guest host. Yeah, but more so, it's really a great way for you guys to leverage those as people learning your story. Write that story, put a link, and use that video. That's a great ad. It's a really good, consistent way to get your story in front of people, because it's not salesy at all. It's real. And that's what people...
And probably even great too to do that to your link for your e-guide, with all of like the digital e-guide for the Freedompreneur, and then all of your own.
Yeah, that's another angle. There's two angles to that one. It can be, look at my story, work with me, or this is a film that I just created after completing, you guys are all graduating, so to speak. You're going to get your certificates of completion. Like I just, course, where I now look what I've got. I have now a complete program, full branding, a blog, a website, a branded video, and these are all assets that I've just completed because I finished this course. Come learn about how you can get the same type of things done for you. And so there's two totally different angles on that one.
Yeah, okay. Thanks.
Yeah. Also, I know it's getting late for several of you guys, but I think this call was really helpful. I think it was on point at the right time. And I'm sure, if questions come from it, awesome. Larcy will get this recording, or I'll get it because she's not here, the recording up. They're actually, the Philippines are, they're under attack right now. They have martial law right now in their country, and they're being locked in. All of Gil, the new web programmer, Jez and Larcy both. Larcy's fine, but Jez and Gil are like within 45 minutes. They're martial law. They having to stay inside of their homes. They're being under terrorist attack. It's pretty scary. Crazy things happen in this world, so we have to be grateful for the people that do great things for us, that they have lives that they're actually working above. It's pretty amazing. Yeah, if I actually told you guys what we've been dealing with for the last couple weeks, you wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it. I'm not even going to tell you because it's something that I don't understand. But that's also part of why there's been a lot of things going on, and why, actually, the one video that I use on the front of this one, remember I told you it was being re-edited? This is, I'm actually going to stop this recording, and I'll tell you